Well, I wish I was ready with my guitar already. We'll have to do this a cappella. I have been starting every service this month with the same song, and you laugh at me, but hopefully soon you'll know the melody. It goes like this. Ya ba bim bum, ya ba bim bum, ya ba bim bum, ya ba ya ba ya ba bim bum, ya ba bim bum, ya ba ya ba bum. Oh ya ba bim bum, ya ba bim bum, ya ba bim bum, ya ba ya ba bim bum, ya ba bim bum, ya ba ya ba bum. We are doing a few extra things in addition to Shabbat. And so first let me announce something tripped. You may want to leave that open because we get some crosswind, I think, Barry. The air conditioning is not working. We're getting a little bit of a breeze. And it's brand new air conditioning. We fixed everything there was to fix, but the storm tripped something up there, according to our air conditioning expert. There's the thermostat in the parlor is dead. We saw that today, and we spent a long time running around trying to find breakers in the building, but it's something that's up on top of the roof. And nobody's going up there while it's raining. So you're not wearing a robe. I'm going to do the fast service, and I'm going to try to go through quickly today. You will get a whole service. There's someone who complained on Saturday mornings that the Torah study goes over sometimes. So the service doesn't start at 11. Sometimes it starts at 10 after or a quarter after. And they said, well, that's not fair. I don't get a whole service. I said, hey, I'll finish by noon. I thought that was the priority. And they said, well, that's not fair. I got a short service. No, you get a whole service. But I'll finish in time. We'll be short. But the things that we have to deal with today, including a Shabbat service, which is the coolest thing ever, is we're counting the Omer. So there's going to be a test. Where are we in our Omer? He said 5 weeks. 35 days. That's what we'll be counting tonight. And it's also Memorial Day on Monday. So we're commemorating Memorial Day weekend. In our congregation, we sometimes do the Friday that's closest to the holiday. So that's going to be true here today. We will have an opportunity on Monday. At 10 o'clock, we're going to go to Achim's Hebrew Rest, and there'll be a brief ceremony. We've put up flags by the veterans already. We started that at Veterans Day, and when we find out about others we missed, we've been putting extra ones up. But there'll be a brief ceremony, and then we're going to meet at the Texas Avenue Cemetery and do another ceremony, even briefer. And then we're going to get to Greenwood, and we're going to do another brief ceremony there. I started to realize today about other names, but I had a couple things I wanted to share with you today about Memorial Day, most of which you already know, but I thought they were interesting. The first Memorial Day was called, what was it called? Decoration Day. You remember that? Remember Decoration Day? It took place following the Civil War. You weren't supposed to remember that. With tributes held for fallen soldiers and flowers placed on their grave sites. In 1868, Major General John Logan declared that Decoration Day would be on May 30th. Let no neglect, no ravages of time testify to the present or to the coming generations that we have forgotten as a people the cost of a free and undivided republic. I think we've forgotten a little bit about that. Subsequently, ceremonies took place throughout the country on May 30th, but it wasn't until 1971 that Congress officially declared Memorial Day a national holiday. 1971, it became a national holiday. And it soon moved to the last Monday of May. We, as a Jewish community, are blessed to be living in a time when we can worship freely and live in a democratic country that ensures this right to be able to flourish and succeed. On the yahrzeit of a family member, my tradition, and many of you have a tradition about lighting a candle in remembrance. On a Chag, on a holiday, we'll recite Yizkor. We'll be doing that in 2 weeks for Shavuos. This year, let's light a yahrzeit candle in memory of those who laid down their lives to ensure that we have the freedoms that we may take for granted. Memorial Day, at least in our community, we don't just remember those who died in battle, but we also remember those who had served and died. We remember all of the Jewish, American, Israeli veterans who died. And this yahrzeit candle we lit as a remembrance for them. Maybe a little new tradition going on here. So at this point, and you see I walk away from there, at this point, we're ready to start Shabbat. So I invite you to take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Another one. Let it out slowly. And I think we're ready to remember Shabbat. I invite Tammy, Courtney, and Sydney Kent to come up and help us as we make Shabbat a holy day by blessing candles and wine. We turn to page 82, and if it's comfortable for you, I invite you to please rise. And I need to turn this.
These lights are only flickering flames, yet flames illumine our uncertain steps. Flames remind us of Sabbaths long past and of their beauty that delighted our hearts. May they inspire us to work for the great Sabbath of peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvato v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, who hallow us with your mitzvot and command us to kindle the Sabbath lights.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We continue at the bottom of 167 and 166 with the Kiddush.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pori hagofen.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, creator, of the universe.
okay.
You call us to holiness with the mitzvah of Shabbat, the sign of your love, a reminder of your creative work, and of our liberation from Egyptian bondage, our day of days. On this Shabbat especially, we hearken to your call to serve you as a holy people. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of Shabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. You forget how delicious that is, right? I encourage everybody to come and do this and volunteer for that. It's grape juice. You are welcome to be seated. Say Shabbat Shalom to someone you came in with and Shabbat Shalom to someone you didn't come in with. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbat Shalom back there. Thank you. We continue on page 84 as we welcome the angels of Shabbat that are accompanying us today. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharet Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Y'all come. Bachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Y'all bless me. Barachuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You can all leave again. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The synagogue is the sanctuary of Israel. Born of our longing for the living God, it has been to Israel throughout our wanderings a visible token of the presence of God in our people's midst. Its beauty is the beauty of holiness. Steadfast, it has stood as the champion of justice, mercy, and peace. Its truths are true for all people. Its love is a love for all people. Its God is the God of all people. As it has been said, my house shall be called a house of prayer for all peoples. Let all the family of Israel, all who hunger for righteousness, all who seek the eternal, find God here, and here find life. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, וימרו אמן, יהא שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמא, ויאמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. O God, how can we know you? Where can we find you? You are as close to us as breathing, yet you are farther than the farthermost star. You are as mysterious as the vast solitudes of night, yet as familiar to us as the light of the sun. To Moses you said, "You cannot see my face, but I will make all my goodness pass before you." Even so does your goodness pass before us, in the realm of nature and in the joys and sorrows of life. When justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when to the last full measure of selfless devotion, we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, then your goodness enters our lives, and we can begin to change the world. And then you live within our hearts, and we, through righteousness, behold your presence. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam. You may be seated. I'm going to suggest that we do this one in English together today at the bottom of 88. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God. There's nothing even about this group. We got more people on this side, and I'm not going to count women and men, so we're going to do it anyway. We're going to make this side do the first parts and this side do the second parts with us. This side, I, the Eternal One, have called you to righteousness and taken you by the hand and kept you. I have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations. We are Israel, witness to your covenant between God and God's... Good, big voice, I like that. This is the covenant I make with Israel. I will place my Torah in your midst and write it upon your hearts. I will be your God, and you shall be my people. We are Israel. Our Torah forbids the worship of race or nation, possessions or power. You who worship gods that cannot save you, hear the words of the Eternal One. I am God, there is none else. We are Israel. Our prophets proclaimed an exalted vision for the world. Hate evil and love what is good. Let justice well up as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. We are Israel, schooled in the suffering of the oppressed. You shall not oppress your neighbors nor rob them. You shall not stand idle while your neighbor bleeds. We are Israel, taught to beat swords into plowshares, commanded to pursue peace. Violence shall no longer be heard in your land, desolation and destruction within your borders. All your children will be taught of your God, and great shall be the peace of your children. We are Israel, O God, when we are witnesses to your love and messengers of your truth. You are my witnesses, says the Eternal One, and my servant, whom I have chosen. Know me, therefore, and put your trust in me. We are Israel, O God, when we proclaim you God our Redeemer, as did our ancestors on the shores of the Red Sea. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele. Who is like you, Eternal One, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, doing wonders? In their escape from the sea, your children saw your sovereign might displayed. This is my God, they cried. The Eternal will reign forever and ever. V'ne'emar, and it has been said, the Eternal One delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel. May we lie down this night in peace and rise up to life renewed. O God, spread over us your shelter of peace, of quiet and calm, and bless us with rest. And let a time come when morning will bring no word of war or famine or anguish, a time of happiness, of contentment and rest. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. We give thanks for the night and its rest and the promise of peace for all the world. I don't know that you know this one. Maybe we'll do one in English for a second. It goes like this. The people of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, observing the Sabbath in every generation as a covenant for all time, as a covenant for all time. That's the whole thing. You could do it. It's in English. The people of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, observing the Sabbath in every generation as a covenant for all time, as a covenant for all time. Please rise for the tefillah, which begins on page 93. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, v'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, v'Koneh HaKol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, u'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. God of all generations, of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, of Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel, be praised. Your wondrous creative power fills heaven and earth. God of life and death, be praised. Through us, send help to the falling, healing to the sick, freedom to the captive. Confirm your faithfulness to those who sleep in the dust. Awesome and holy God, be praised. With acts of love and truth we hallow your name. As it is said, be holy, for I, your eternal God, am holy. God of times and seasons, be praised. Enable us through Sabbath rest to explore and learn and impart the meanings of your Torah. Make our hearts ready to serve you this day and all days. You may be seated. God who answers prayer, be praised. May we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God. Source of life and its wonders, be praised. You are the miracle within all we behold. You are goodness. You are compassion. We give thanks to you forever. And please join with me below the Hebrew. God of peace, of justice, and of love, be praised. Inspire us to banish forever hatred, war, and bloodshed. Help us to establish forever one human family united in peace. God of peace, bless us with peace. We now take a moment for silent prayer, and this one you don't have to go very quickly. Take your time. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Okay, that song makes me sad that Virginia's not here and that I'm not playing guitar, because I would have done an Oseh Shalom if I were playing guitar, and I would have sung it with Virginia if she were here. It's okay, we get through. At this point in our service, we still have a few things to do. We've got to count the Omer. So officially, we wait until after dark. You've already heard my spiel. If you had forgotten to count 2 days, some rabbis tell you you're not supposed to say the blessing anymore. But I like blessings, and I say if you're counting today, then say the blessing. The blessing is one that we say that's a fulfilling commandment blessing, like when we light candles. And today we're going to be saying that it is 35 days, which makes 5 weeks. So we're right on target here. We don't have to add and subtract and calculate. We're good. So we say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al Sfirat HaOmer. We praise you, God. You make us holy by giving us commandments. You commanded us about counting the Omer. Hayom chamisha v'shloshim yamim shehem chamisha shavuot. Today is 35 days. That makes 5 weeks. You passed another test. School is out and we passed it again. At this point in our service, we turn to the inside back cover as we think about those who are ill or recuperating. If you have other names that you'd like us to add to our list, I invite you to call them out. For all these names that we have said and for all those we hold in our hearts, we pray together. O God, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. We praise you, eternal God, the source of healing and health. And it's become our tradition to add, Misheberach avotenu v'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors, Guard all those whom we've entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom and protecting us in this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they've been called to serve. May they return home safely, and let us say, Amen. Memorial Day weekend isn't about those folks. It's not about those veterans and military who are fighting now or who served but are still alive. Memorial Day is remembering those who came before us. So I have two things I would like to mention about this. One is because Memorial Day isn't just about the Jews who died, even though we're doing this in a Shabbat service, but I just got notice about this guy. He is the first World War II era American soldier who has been designated one of the righteous among the nations at Yad Vashem. The late Master Sergeant Roddy Edmonds of the 422nd Infantry Regiment in the U.S. Army, he has been recognized for rescuing Jewish servicemen at the Stalag camp in Germany during World War II. Master Sergeant Roddy Edmonds seemed like an ordinary American soldier, but he had an extraordinary sense of responsibility and dedication to his fellow human beings, said Yad Vashem chairman Avner Shalev. The choices and actions of Master Sergeant Edmonds set an example for his fellow American soldiers as they stood united against the barbaric evil of the Nazis. Edmonds participated in the landing of the American forces in Europe. He was taken prisoner by the Germans during the Battle of the Bulge, and he was interned at the POW camp near Ziegenhain, Germany. In January of 1945, the Germans called for all Jewish POWs in his stalag to report the following morning. Edmonds was the highest-ranking soldier in the American section of the camp. He ordered all of his men, Jews and non-Jews alike, to fall out. Seeing all the camp's inmates gathered, the German officer said to Edmonds, "They can't all be Jews." And Edmonds stood there at attention and replied, "We are all Jews." Even after his life was threatened, Master Sergeant Edmonds didn't waver, and the German officer retreated. One of the Jewish POWs rescued by Edmonds told Yad Vashem, Master Sergeant Edmonds, at the risk of his immediate death, defied the Germans with the unexpected consequence that the Jewish prisoners were saved. Roddy Edmonds was a Southern boy who was from Knoxville, Tennessee. He passed away in 1985. He's the first American soldier and one of only 5 Americans to be recognized by Yad Vashem as righteous among the nations, along with Varian Fry, Waitstill and Martha Sharp, and Louis Gundin. To date, more than 26,000 individuals have received that honor. That's a nice number, but compared to 6 million and 11 million, but it's still nice. One of the things that I've noticed is that we are hearing more about the heroes, because just like the survivors didn't want to tell their story, the heroes didn't want to tell their story. But, and I didn't know that the film prize people were going to be here today. I picked this before I knew I was going to see you. One of the interesting points of information about Memorial Day that I liked that popped up said, in honor of Memorial Day, on aish.com they have a list of Jewish celebrities who served in World War II. And they tell this story, the author, who's Marnie Winston McCauley, tells this story, which I loved also. She said, "We're coming to the end of an era. When I was young, when she was young, World War II, which was from 1939 to 1945, was a fairly recent event." I would say that too, but I don't know how young she is. Not quite yet history. The men and women who survived in defense of the Allies had come home. I remember that the vast majority, even those who suffered greatly, were proud, optimistic, and eager to create families, careers, and make America, now a superpower, a beacon of democracy and goodwill for the world to follow. 3 things stood out in her memory, and I apologize for taking this on as if it were my own. It's not, but I loved her stories, and I think that we all shared something like this. She said, the first, how these young families helped each other without question. Most had seen the ravages of war and now prized peace among their neighbors. The second was one neighbor who had lost an arm. As a young child, curious, if not tactful, I asked him about it. He said, "I lost it defending our country, and this was a small price to pay." Haven't you heard answers like that before? I have. The third was my late father, who was many times decorated and served over 4 years in the Pacific Theater. He did many things. He often told war stories, from the hysterically funny to the profound to the tragic. One thing he didn't do until he was on his deathbed: he never called anyone buddy. He loved many and used words of love, but buddy, I learned, was reserved for his army buddies. When he saw them through the years, that's what he would call them. I noticed a special look they had when they met. It was indescribable, a camaraderie that could never quite be duplicated. On his deathbed, he called my late husband buddy, finally. But anyway, so I wanted to mention some people who have been celebrities, Jewish celebrities. I think most of you know that these people were Jewish. Mel Brooks, who was born Melvin James Kaminsky, he was born in 1926. He was a combat engineer, and his quote said, "I was a combat engineer. Isn't that ridiculous? The two things I hate most in the world are combat and engineering." And it tells more about the details, but I'm not going to go into lots of details about what they have done. He did say another thing. He said, "War isn't hell. War is loud. It's much too noisy. All those shells and bombs going off all around you. Never mind death, a man could lose his hearing." That's a Mel Brooks kind of a line. Did you know that B. Arthur, she was born Bernice Frankel. She was born in 1922 and died in 2009. You may remember her as Maud or from Fiddler or all kinds of things. She enlisted in the Marines in 1943. She spent 2.5 years as one of the first members of the Women's Reserve. She started basic training in March 1943. She was assigned to be a typist in Washington, D.C., but during the next 2 years, she was transferred to Marine and Navy air stations in Virginia and North Carolina. She reached the rank of staff sergeant. She never talked about her military service, ever. Peter Falk, who was born in 1927 and died in 2011, he tried to join the Marines, but you know he had a problem. He had one glass eye. He tried to trick them into letting him in. He passed the first test, actually, it says, by using creativity, but a second round ousted him out. Undaunted, several months later, he joined the Merchant Marines as a cook. He also, by the way, tried to join the Israeli Irgun. He was a definite mensch, it says. Kirk Douglas, who was born Isser Danielovich, was born in 1916. He enlisted in the Navy in 1941, reaching the rank of lieutenant. More. Don Rickles, they said that he was the merchant of venom, they called him. He gets away with it, but he enlisted in the U.S. Navy on destroyer duty. He was honorably discharged in 1946. With typical humor, he describes one deployment as follows: "It was so hot and humid, the crew rotted." So that's almost like the sanctuary today, sorry. Carl Reiner also served in 1942. He entered the Army. He received training as a radio operator. He also studied French on the way to becoming an interpreter, so he served in the Signal Corps. But en route to Iwo Jima, he was assigned to Maurice Evans' entertainment unit, where he toured the South Pacific as a comic for almost 2 years. Henry Kissinger, we know, served. He started in Germany, and he served in the American Army. And there were other celebrities that I wanted to mention quickly. Tony Curtis, Lauren Green, Shecky Green, Buddy Hackett, Harvey Korman, Jack Klugman, Walter Matthau, Tony Randall, Soupy Sales. I remembered wanting to vote for Soupy Sales for president. I'm sorry he's gone. I would have voted for him this time. Larry Storch, Mike Wallace, Eli Wallach, Joseph Wapner, Ephraim Zimbalist, and others. But I thought that was kind of not as much fun as when Donald would do sermons, but hearing about the comedians and the famous Jews I thought would be helpful. I get to invite up our new president to tell us what's going on in the next week or so. Mr. Gary Abrams, come on down. Come on up. Come on over. He's so good. See what happens when you become president? I don't understand this. Look at this crowd. I don't think it was you. I think it was the weather, honestly.
Shabbat Shalom. Thanks to Tammy and Sydney. On Memorial Day, Monday, May 30th, American flags will be placed on graves of Jewish veterans in AA and BZ cemeteries with a brief Veterans Memorial service in each cemetery. We will begin at Agudath Achim Hebrew Rest Cemetery at 10 a.m., at Walnut and Yale, and then we'll start our ceremony at the B'nai Zion Cemetery on Texas Avenue at 10:30, and we plan to be at the B'nai Zion section of Greenwood Cemetery by 10:50 a.m. The office will be closed Monday in observance of Memorial Day. Beginning Tuesday, May 31st through Labor Day weekend, the B'nai Zion office will be open from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. If you need to do business or make appointments beyond the times of the summer office hours, please let us know, and we can try to make special arrangements for you. Next Friday night, the 3rd, we will be everyone was celebrating.
That's not in English. That's my fault.
That's yours, isn't it?
That's me. I did.
We were celebrating birthdays and anniversaries in June. We'll be celebrating Shavuot and observing Yizkor in 2 weeks during Shabbat evening services Friday, June 10th at 6 p.m. We'll watch the movie The Exodus Decoded in honor of Shavuot on Saturday, June 11th. The movie shows possible explanations about the plagues and a theory about which mountain is Mount Sinai. The program will begin at 6 p.m. We'll serve pizza and drinks. The movie lasts an hour and a half. The June-July bulletin should arrive in your mailboxes next week. You should also be receiving your access codes to the online B'nai Zion database and donation. Donations were made to B'nai Zion or for pulpit flowers in memory of Ruth Kallenberg by Sandy and Jeffrey Kallenberg, Keith Norman Rabinowitz by Rita Rabinowitz, and Esther Selber Rosenthal by Mandy Selber Jr. Is that it, Reverend?
That's it. You're good. That was good. That was very good. We threw in a whole bunch of Hebrew words for him the first week just to see how he could do on that. That was good. I was very impressed. We didn't trip him at all. That was pretty good. Okay. I have Gregory, would you do me a favor? And I have no kids to boing up the stage to do up the bima to do the open the ark. Would you honor us and open the ark, please? Because I'm not boinging. Donald, you want to boing up with him as past president too? I think we need 2 people, 1 in each direction.
It's good to still be the youngest one.
Isn't that cool?
Congregation.
Isn't that cool to be the youngest kid here? It's not so cool, but it's what we got. What it is, what it is. Please turn to page 148 and rise as the ark is open. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I lost my kippah, sorry. On the opposite page we say, V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushimo echad. When the ark is closed, you may be seated. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Shabbat shalom. Good thing you're here to be one of our youngest guys, isn't it? So our tradition each week, we look to see if we have lost someone who has given their life, protecting our world. And this week, I am grateful not to be able to report, grateful to report that we lost no one in the military. We lost no firefighters, but we did lose police officer Ronald Tarantino. He was shot and killed while conducting a traffic stop. He served with the Auburn, Massachusetts Police Department for 2 years, He had previously served with the Leicester Police Department for 7 years. He was 42. He's survived by his wife and 3 children. May his memory be a blessing. May we be forever grateful. And that's a hard job, putting their lives on the line for us every day. We continue on page 151. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. The meditation today is one about Memorial Day. I know that it's become something in America about hot dogs and baseball and apple pie, but I think we need to remember those who we've lost over the years, as I said before, either fighting for the country and dying in service, or those who got to come back, but we still appreciate them. I have a list here that I'm going to read as part of our memorial service. So on page 153, we continue. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We now recall the loved ones whom death has taken from us this past month. We remember B. Blumberg. And we remember the parents who died this year of our congregants. We remember Mimi Hussey, Dr. Sidney Solomon Slutsky, Dr. Donald Rosen, Morris Somer, Dr. Lowry Vasca, Yvette Bell Somer, Val Gold, Anna Vinsky, Rhoda Gold, and Ira Katz. We remember those who died at this season in years past. Those for whom we're observing yortsites this week include Tamara Atkins, Georgiana Bailey, Gussie Chernick, Gustav Friedman, Alvin Gardspain, Clara Goldman, Mortimer Hertzberg, Ruth Kallenberg, Carl Levy, Loris Levy, Max Morris, Bill Otto, Ralph Perlman, Keith Rabinowitz, Esther Selber Rosenthal, Barney Rubin, Dr. Herta Safir, Molly Shanhouse, Robert Simon Trife, Mildred Lottie Werner, Jack Weiner Sr. And I also want to remember those in our community. This is a list of the names that I have of people who are buried in the veterans who are buried in our cemeteries. And I'm including, I have a number of cemeteries here. Isidore Abrams, Sidney Broder, Nicholas Brody, Isaac Kullick, Jake Kullick, Samuel Dekowitz, Herb Dibner, Robert Dibner, Neil Dehlin, Abram Ginsberg, Sadie Kaliski, Isidore Maritsky, Alexander Rifkin, William Schwartz, Alexander Silverman, Morris Straussman, Samuel Waltman, A.B. Worth, Ike Wilson, and Jacob Wolchansky. They're buried in the Old Hebrew Rest Cemetery. In Greenwood, the names I know about are William Blumberg, Henry Kahn, William Ellis, Leo Friedman, Louis Feinberg, David Stein Goldberg, Melvin Goldberg, Edmund Golden, Joseph Goldman, Samuel Goldstein, Walter Grant, Harold Kaplan, James Katz, Albert Katzenstein, Alex Cooperman, Rabbi David Lefkowitz Jr., Harold Levy, Jacob Levine, Philip Lieber, Gershon Marcus, Theo Meyer, Joseph Murov, Lazar Murov, Neil Neerman, Ben Phelps, Leonard Phillips, Donald Rosen, Edward Morris, Everett Francis Rubenstein, Irving Selber, Fred Sklar, Boris Weinstein, Sam Wiseman, Earl Loeb Wiener, Seymour Van Oss, and Samuel Vedlitz. In the Texas Street Hebrew Rest Cemetery, I'm sorry? Jacob Mandel? Thank you. So we'll put a flag for him too. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry, but thank you. Texas Street Hebrew Rest, I'm sure that there are more names than this, but the names that I know of are William Myers Bronig and Leo Holland, because that's an older cemetery and we need to add names. We also remember Joel Vernon. We remember Keith Rabinowitz and John Meyer. And if you have other names that you know of people who served who are buried in any of the cemeteries, not just the few that I mentioned. Leo Kent, thank you. I will add these. Please remind me of them before we go out on Sunday and Monday. In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we rise as together we praise your name. The Mourner's Kaddish is found on 154. The translation is on 155. We join our voices together in memory of all those who served and all those we loved. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv, v'imru amen. Yehe shemei rabbah mevarach la'alam olamei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudsha b'richu, la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'am yiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. You may be seated. All right, I'm trying, everybody. It's hot and it's wet, and I'm trying to get you out of here early. I'm doing a better job this time than I did last time. Last time I said, let's do a really short service, and it wound up being a really long service, right? Trying to hide all of the things. You know, bending at the knee is really hard with one knee. It's a good thing you can't see what I'm doing there. In order for us to partake of the... Margaret, would you come help me, please? Come on up. Ready? Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together, as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Take it and share. Take and share. Here, take the whole, you get the bread. Take the bread. Share with anybody you want in there. You'll find out who she loves when she shares. There's not a lot of people. And there's another whole challah there. She could eat it if she wants. She deserves it. Please rise for a closing benediction. I hope you appreciate it. I really want to sing again. But let's go home and rest. It is a blessing for us to be together, and I appreciate that you came out in this mess. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God protect you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face always be lifted up to you. May God grant you peace. Shabbat shalom. Safe travels.